Shares of China Everbright Securities have just begun trading in Shanghai, the first IPO by a Chinese brokerage in almost 7 years. Bloomberg Stephen Angle joins us from Beijing with the details. Steve.
Hi, Haslinda. Yeah, the ticker is going crazy right now. Stock code 601788CH for China. The offer price was 2108. Let's change the graphic. We can bring up the price right now at 30 renminbi, 2988. It's changing rapidly, up about 42% in the opening seconds of trade in Shanghai. Just a couple of weeks ago, we were all talking about Everbright Securities' good timing hitting the market. Shanghai Composite Index at that time, when it had closed the sale, had surged 90% year to date. The Shanghai Composite was at 3,500 or nearly 3,500. All was rosy, right? But not so fast. The market has since, in the last couple of weeks, corrected about 17%, begging the question, had the bubble burst or was this simply a small correction? Well, we are getting investor appetite for these shares. As I said, up 42% in the opening minutes for China's 11th largest brokerage by assets. And Everbright Securities' timings was obviously spot on when it sold those shares to institutional investors and retail punters at the top end of the marketed range. 2108 was at the top end of the range, raising $1.6 billion US. The offline sale to institutional investors was more than 120 times oversubscribed. It wasn't cheap, though. The company valued at 59 times 2008 earnings. Its larger rival CITIC Securities by comparison at 32 times, Haitong at 38, Hongyuan Securities, after its big run-up so far this year, at 49 times earnings. So they're all relatively cheaper than Everbright Securities. Granted, with today's stock surge now up 38%, PE even higher. CITIC Securities shares have marched higher along with the market, only to see shares slump, of course, 18% along with the market fall so far in August. Chinese regulators in June lifted that 9-month moratorium on new share sales, and 5 companies that went public before Everbright Securities jumped an average of 112% on their first day of trading, but not necessarily sustainable. All sold shares at the top end of their marketed ranges as well, but change the page, you can see their performances since those day one gains all have fallen. This is not including the opening minutes of trade. This is through yesterday's, as you can see, Sichuan Expressway, which tripled on its opening day, are down 35% since that day one surge. Everbright Securities plans to use the proceeds to replenish working capital and increase the number of outlets to more than 120 through mergers and acquisitions and opening new branches. Everbright profit jumping 20% in the first half of this year after slumping 71% last year when the market was in the doldrums. Just a quick recap. If you can bring up the graphic again, Everbright Securities up 36%, 35% in the opening minutes in its IPO in Shanghai. Haslinda?
So, Steve, in terms of first day performance, Everbright Securities, of course, muted performance compared to the ones that we've seen so far. Stephen Angle, thank you so much for that.